What's going on YouTube? It's Giga here bringing you some more Series 8 Wi-Fi battles with live commentary. Working our way through a bunch of the restricteds, today we're using one of my personal favorites, Palkia. So this is a team built by Naji, and it looks really exciting. It's Safety Goggles Palkia, which I don't think you see very often, but really taking advantage of the fact that Palkia has such a wide variety of moves. You also do have Grimmsnarl, which I think offers a lot of really big support. Ferrothorn works really well, and the fact that you want Palkia to set up the rain with that sort of like Max Geyser really helps it out to survive in that endgame. Then a lot of standard things you see, like Incineroar and Urshifu, which are just kind of everywhere. And then that Porygon, which is really cool because it's got foul play, and it also does offer Trick Room support. So this team isn't necessarily the fastest. You usually do want to set up that Trick Room, but it does offer a lot of ways to kind of control that. So I am really excited to kind of play with this team. As always, you can find the rental code, which you can see here in the description, as well as the link to the Pokepaste. And with that, let's kind of just hop into the first game. All right, first battle of the day. Wow, this is interesting. So we have a Groudon team with Groudon, Venusaur. We have Regieleki with Weezing, and then we have Charizard and Rotom. So Palkia is really big here. The fact that it can max and just immediately start putting pressure with Max Geyser. More importantly, the fact that it has safety goggles. So something like Venusaur going for that sleep powder isn't going to matter too much. So I think I do like Palkia lead with Urshifu. I think Urshifu provides so much pressure that's kind of hard to deal with. Ferrothorn not really doing much in this endgame. I think Incineroar, and yeah, I mean this is hard. I like screens, theoretically. Let's bring Porygon. The chance to get Trick Room I think is relevant, but let's see. I do, like I said, like the fact that even if I feel like Venusaur is going to want to try and sleep into Palkia because it feels like such a bigger threat, and taking advantage of that safety goggles to switch the terrain, not switch the terrain, yeah, switch the weather, even if it means losing something is important. Okay, Weezing Gigas. So this is interesting because, I do like. What do I expect? I kind of expect. I'm gonna Earth Power into Weezing. I'm tempted to just max. Oh, this is. Oh, that's a big deal. This is not Gigantamax. Not Gigantamax Urshifu. It's normal Urshifu. No, I'm gonna Earth Power and Close Combat into Regigigas. I don't think this is the smartest play because I didn't even use this team without any testing. But I think preserving the max on Urshifu, not on Urshifu, on my team is really huge. Gigas is scary. I'm guessing the Weezing is going to go for a Protect. Oh, no Protect on Weezing, which is really fascinating. Urshifu, yep, goes down to its Focus Sash, which means that I can safely get off a big hit. And then, more importantly, I'm able to get off my Earth Power onto their Weezing. Wow, okay, so Urshifu knocks out a big chunk. Palkia Earth Powers into Weezing. Yep, there's that Sugar Berry to reduce the damage. But even still, like, that's still a hefty chunk. What is Weezing going for? Will-O-Wisp? Clear Smog. Clear Smog into Urshifu. Which means that I can... Yeah, I feel like I have to sacrifice something. feel like Incineroar is not actually going to be that useful. I think it makes sense for them to protect this turn. I still think Max Quaking here and then Parting Shot. Yeah, because the important thing, like I said, is just getting rid of that Weezing, because then Gigas essentially becomes useless. And I think if need be, being able to pivot to Trick Room with Porygon is big, and I would rather have that than Incineroar. But I think it's such a tricky spot. Weezing Gigas is such a powerhouse. Into Incineroar. Incineroar probably goes down. Yep, Incineroar goes down, which is it's really unfortunate. But I am going to be able to put in some serious damage into that Weezing. And that Gigas is slowly losing a bunch of health from its Life Orb. But let's see. Palkia, okay. A little less than ideal, but I think what I can do now is Palkia does have a speed drop, so I think Trick Room with the Porygon. Actually, I don't actually think Porygon can live Gigas. I think Max Geyser into the Weezing and then Trick Room. Max Strike into Porygon 2. Porygon 2, wow, takes it really well, which is really nice. It does also mean my speed is lowered even further, and I can... Oh, nice. Very good taunt. That's a bit unfortunate that Porygon is going to fall for the taunt, but I am going to be able to Max Geyser into their Weezing to get rid of that, and now Regieleki is going to be fairly useless, but yeah, this is hard because now I do have a weakened Porygon that can't really do much, and yeah, I think that lets them safely bring out... it doesn't let them safely bring out Groudon, but I expect they don't bring out Groudon. They bring out whatever they have in the back and then wait for my Max to finish to guarantee Sun Control. Yep, there's Venusaur, which makes sense. I think Sleep... they're probably going to try and Sleep Powder into Palkia. That's what I think makes the most sense. So... I do like Max Quake into Venusaur and Foul Play into Regigigas. I do expect the... Sleep Powder. Yep, nice. And Body Slam into Porygon. Porygon takes it really well, and Regigigas is just slowly burning through its HP. Max Quake, I think, is really big into this Venusaur. It does a sizable chunk, which is like really nice to see. Now it's just a question of how bulky is Palkia, because oh wow, Regigigas lives. I think that's fine. I think still Earth Power into the Venusaur, Foul Play into the Gigas. Gigas should go down to... oh, there's Giga Drain. Ugh. Little less than ideal, because that means Venusaur does have a wave recovery, and it gets actually a sizable chunk back. Body Slam into Palkia, which... it makes sense, but it does mean that I can double up into Venusaur, getting off both that Earth Power and hopefully Foul Play can finish Venusaur off at this range. Yeah, nice. So now it's Palkia Porygon versus Groudon. And given how well I was able to take the hit from from Groudon. Oh, yeah, no. Porygon's so low. Earth Power versus Hydro Pump. I think go for Trick Room anyway. Because, yeah, if you, the idea is Precipice Blade miss. Okay, Precipice double connects. Palkia does take a significant chunk. But luckily, the thing with Groudon is... Oh, wow. Ugh. I think go for Hydro Pump. What is nice about Groudon is it usually doesn't carry anything that is 100% accurate. But it, yeah, double connects with Precipice Blade. Once again, yeah, and Palkia goes down. Pity. I think we just lost so many resources to that Regieleki, and I think if I had doubled up, I think I should have doubled up into Wheezing turn 1, especially because they didn't go for Protect. And if I had been able to take care of that, I would have been in just such a stronger position. But losing so many resources up front really cost me. But I am still getting used to this team, so I think that it's fine. And yeah, it's a good thing to keep in mind and just kind of press forward into the next game. All right, next battle. We have Dialga. So that's cute. Palkia and Dialga. We have Whimsicott, Dialga with Indeedee, Cinderace, that Zapdos, and Regieleki. I do really like Ferrothorn in the back. I don't think they have a good way to answer it. And I think Incineroar is risky because of Zapdos. But I mean, Palkia does have Earth Power for Max Quake, and Grimmsnarl, does it have... I like Palkia, actually, Palkia Grimmsnarl. I think that's a very good lead, and it gives me the immediate pressure of either a Max Geyser or a Max Quake, depending on what they lead with. And then Ferrothorn for sure in the back. Probably Urshifu. Urshifu is risky. Porygon is tempting. Yeah, I'm going to bring Porygon. I think because of Palkia being such a... I mean, an obvious choice, I'm hoping that means they don't bring Cinderace. But let's see. I think... Yeah. What would... The thing that is scary for sure, though, is that Zapdos. Because I don't have a super effective way with... a super effective way to hit it with Palkia. So, let's see. They're gonna... So their pressure goes first, so they are faster. Which... is pretty nice. I think... Max Quake for the special defense boost. And then... I think I have to go for Light Screen. And then what's nice is I can start Spirit Breaking their Dialga. Okay, so they're going to withdraw. Oh, if they bring in Zapdos, that'd be a really good switch. They're going to bring in Indeedee. Okay, interesting. Which I'm guessing they were expecting a Fake Out. Which is what would... I mean, that's what would make the most sense. Is they expect Fake Out to... not go into Whimsicott to get up Tailwind. So this is actually a little bit tricky because they are creating a scenario where they preserve their max while I committed to it turn 1. And I think it makes sense because I can get a good amount of special defense. Yeah, so there's the Tailwind. And then being able to pick up just that Light Screen boost and hitting into their team with a Max Quake is good. Because now I have a really solid special defense option against their Dialga. That actually does nothing. What? They have... I think... Max Geyser to get rid of Indeedee, and then Spear. I could taunt. Oh no, I can't. Because there is the Psychic Terrain. Yeah, I almost forgot about that. Good read. But I mean, I did also target the Whimsicott with that. So Whimsicott's going to Moonblast into Grimmsnarl. It is at +1 with the light screen. So not taking any damage at all. Able to get a Max Geyser into Indeedee. And that's going to set up the rain. But, I mean, my opponent is doing a really good job of controlling my Max. Because now they're going to be able to safely go for theirs while I can't really do much. And I prioritize going for that. I prioritize going for Max Geyser. Okay, so they reject button Whimsicott. So that's actually really interesting that they brought out Indeedee. Okay, so Dialga comes back in. I think what makes sense is to Max Quake here and then Spirit Break the Dialga. Because then we can get +2 with the boost. Please don't be... Yeah, I'm still worried about this Zapdos. Okay, it's going to be that Indeedee... Or, not that Indeedee, that Whimsicott. They do have Tailwind. But, I mean, getting to +2 special defense with the light screen and then being able to... Oh, no, they're probably going to knock out Grimmsnarl? That's what I'm guessing. Max Steel Spike, yep. Into the Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl is going to go down. Wow. They are really offensive. Let's see. Do they have a Life Orb? That's what I'm more interested to see. They do. Okay. They do have a Life Orb. So I can safely hit into it with super effective attacks, which is really good to know. Whimsicott still is not taking much, but yeah, being able to hit into them is great. I think Ferrothorn is the... I mean, there is Eerie Impulse. I like Eerie Impulse as an option, like I think setting up Trick Room and then being able to Eerie Impulse is going to be huge. And we get pressure, so we can start lowering PP, which can be important, especially when some moves have only 5. So the worry now is what spread move does Dialga have? I think, yeah, Trick Room. Oh, their Whimsicott could have Taunt. But there should still be up the terrain, right? I actually completely forgot. Yeah, because nothing has changed it. And okay, so they're going just straight for a Moonblast into Palkia. 191. I mean, every little bit of chip counts. Max Quake, so they're also getting their special defense up. And that should hit into Porygon. Yep, 191. Porygon takes that super well. But this is going to let me start also firing big attacks off into their Dialga. And I can get some good chip off with Earth Power. Earth Power does a sizable amount. And here comes that Trick Room with Porygon. So this is great because I can fire off Eerie Impulses. And, I mean, they no longer have a Tailwind, but it doesn't really matter. I think, yeah, just doubling up into Dialga for this turn. And as it finishes off its max, yeah, I'm not really worried about the Whimsicott slot. Let's see what they have in the 4th slot. Oh, they're just bringing back Indeedee. Eerie Impulse into Dialga to just weaken it as much as possible. Its special attack is now at -2. And there's the light screen, and Palkia's at +2. So they do have Max Wormwind. Palkia takes that super well. And so what that tells me is what they have Roar of Time most likely, or Dracometer, which I mean they only have 4 because of pressure, and their max is done. So I think at this point I should safely be able to knock out their Dialga. I'm going to go for Foul Play in the event they go for a Follow Me. Okay, so I do get some chip damage onto their Indeedee. And they're going to bring out the Whimsicott, which is smart. Okay, they're going to protect. Good read. Nope, foul play. Just... Oh, I doubled up into it in the event that they followed me. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Cool. Earth Power does knock out the Whimsicott, which is great. And that means I can't taunt my Porygon anymore. I do lose the Rain, which can be a problem depending on what their last is. But Dialga should go down to 1 hit. And we are going to see... Okay, it is Zapdos, which I'm actually really afraid of. Yeah, Zapdos is actually very scary. Yeah, there's the follow me. I hope foul play does... And it's actually not going to do anything. Foul play does... Yeah, hardly a scratch. Hydro Pump misses. Unfortunately. Close combat into Porygon 2. Porygon 2 lives, but I think the Trick Room is over this turn, which is actually really scary. Oh, no, there's still a turn of Trick Room left, right? How many? There is 1 turn. That's really big. I can then, once again, go for Hydro Pump into their Zapdos and recover with Porygon, with the idea that I can just keep lowering Zapdos's defenses, and then even if I lose Porygon, Ferrothorn should be able to safely just start getting a good amount of chip. Okay, Hydro Pump connects, should knock out Indeedee. Yep, Indeedee goes down. Nice. We're gonna most likely see what, another close combat. Yep, close combat into Porygon. Porygon goes down. But I think if Ferrothorn can get off an Iron Defense, it should be in a really good position. Because now that Zapdos is at -2, Dialga doesn't have a max. So Earth Power Iron Defense? Earth Power here. I honestly could just Body Press. No, I'm gonna Iron Defense. I think that makes the most sense. The fear is doubling up into Palkia. But, oh wow, that does actually a lot more than I would have liked into Ferrothorn. But I mean, Iron Barb's chip is nice. Roar of Time into Palkia. Palkia, hopefully, I mean, yeah, Palkia doesn't take that. That's unfortunate, because now it's a 2v1. But their Dialga does have to recover next turn, and Roar of Time doesn't have 100% accuracy, but 44, so that was what? It was 132. 132 divided by 2 is 50 plus 16, 65. Yeah, I can't live. I'm just going to pretend that this is going to work. I should go down to another close combat. Yeah. Bummer. Yeah, that was close. I think I should... I'm shocked that Palkia did not live the Roar of Time, though, because of the fact that I did have +2 and it's Life Orb. So it just, yeah, it wasn't specs, but Roar of Time isn't physical, is it? Is that... I'm going to quickly check that. There's no way. I always thought it was special. Is it physical? That's the only way I could think for that to have happened. No, Roar of Time is special. That's, I mean, it is super effective and stab. Oh well, yeah. This seems a little bit rough so far, but we have more games ahead, and hopefully we can pull out in the end, and let's just hop straight into the next one. Next game. Quickly, I feel like I should not have gone for Iron Defense in that last game. I should have just straight up attacked. But we have a Zacian team. This is tricky. It is Landorus with Thundurus, Zacian, Rillaboom, Rotom, and Umbreon. Screens are big. I think Grimmsnarl is very big here. So is Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn I think is huge because they don't have a super good answer, especially if I can get up an Iron Defense other than that Porygon. But Palkia does scare Porygon. So what am I thinking? I'm thinking Porygon is huge. Definitely want Incineroar. Palkia, Porygon? I could do Palkia, Porygon with Ferrothorn, Incineroar in the back. I do sacrifice screens though. I mean, this team is so fast, and if I can get Ferrothorn to +2 and get rid of their Rotom, I mean, it's such a good position. This is a little bit scary because they do have just so many things that are super effective. It is really hard to consider like what is the best sort of lead. Now the question is, do they have Play Rough on their Zacian, which would also be really scary. Okay, so we're going to see Umbreon, Landorus, which actually is pretty okay. The fear is Snarl from the Umbreon, but I think a Max Geyser should be able to knock out Landorus. So I think I can pretty safely set up I think I can pretty safely go for a Trick Room here. And then even if Palkia becomes useless, I'm honestly fine depending on what they bring out, switching out immediately from the Max into Ferrothorn. But let's see. Because I'm not super scared of their Landorus versus Palkia. Because, I can hit into it and... I mean, I guess they max Quake. That's their best option, is they max Quake and a Snarl, but then I'll have the Rain Up. And so we are going to see that Landorus max. What is nice, though, is if I do get off the Trick Room, I have Foul Play. So I can hit into that for just a ton of damage. But, I mean, seeing Umbreon is really good, because that is also something else that cannot touch Ferrothorn, and I think they definitely have Zacian, so the question is, do they have Ferrothorn? I mean, not Ferrothorn. Do they have Rotom as their fourth? Which, I mean, I feel like you have to. You have to have Rotom if you see a Ferrothorn. Yep, there's the Max Quake. Max Quake into most likely Porygon. Yep, 191 down to 116. Then I'm going to hopefully have Palkia get off a Max Geyser. Yep, there's the Max Geyser into Landorus, which should do a hefty chunk. It does almost full. I mean, it does about 3/4, not 3/4, 2/3, which I'm very comfortable with, and I get the Rain. Yep, there's the Snarl. Porygon, nice. Porygon 2 lives, which is exactly what you want. Get up the Trick Room. The thing is, I do expect... So now I'm going to get hit with a second Snarl. But I can probably max... I'm going to double up into Landorus, because if Foul Play knocks it out, then I do get to divert into Porygon. And the thing is, like, I just want Chip. Good Max Guard. That was a very good Max Guard. Yeah. Oh, nice. Yawn into Palkia, which does make Umbreon a little bit scary. Oh, ooh. Yeah, very, very smart. Because now... I think just go for the same thing. Yeah, because, okay, Yawn is a little bit tricky. Because I don't have necessarily the best way to deal with it. Wow, okay. And they're slower than my Porygon, which is a huge deal. Able to get off the foul play, and it doesn't knock out the Landorus. Wow. Okay, but this Max Geyser, I mean, there's no way it doesn't. Yep, down goes the Landorus, and now what? I'm interested to see what they bring out. I mean, if it's not, what? If it's not Rotom, I'm in a really good position. That looks like Zacian. Yep, there's Zacian. Zacian I actually don't mind taking a KO from. So I think it's probably safe to... I'm thinking of double switching, actually. I think Palkia into Ferrothorn, and then swapping Porygon to Incineroar to start getting fake outs and Intimidates out. Yeah, because I expect them to yawn into the Porygon slot, and then getting off the Iron Barbs with Ferrothorn onto Zacian for some chip damage is huge. And then depending on how much it does, I can hopefully get off an Iron Defense. Because, let's see. Okay, so Snarl, that's fine. Snarl's going to... Oh, actually, that's actually even better because Snarl does so little to both of them, and I don't care about special attack on either of these two. Yep. Oh, ooh. Very good call. They are going to substitute. I think... What? Most likely yawn into the Ferrothorn? I think, right? So I think Protect here, and then Taunt into that Umbreon. So that way, even if they try and yawn, I can stop that, and then that'll let me set up with Ferrothorn, and then I can probably pivot back out to something, probably maybe Palkia just to burn off sleep. This is scary because that Zacian now can start Swords Dancing behind a sub, and I need that sub gone, and I think Intimidates is kind of my best way to cycle through that. Great. Okay, nice. So I am able to taunt the Umbreon, so it can't go for, what's it called? It can't go for, what is the word? Yawn. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so they hit into Incin with Sacred Sword. Sacred Sword did a good chunk, but I am able to probably... Oh, and the sun is back up, so I think I can safely Iron Defense and then pop out. Oh, ooh. That's really bad. Iron Defense, Ferrothorn, and then swap out to Palkia. I think losing Ferrothorn is... not Ferrothorn. Losing Incineroar is not worth it. Especially, yeah, given how much they just did. I would want to preserve Incineroar and get some good chip onto that Zacian and just start setting up for Ferrothorn endgame. Yep, and here's the Rotom. So this is expected and also really bad. Sacred Sword into Palkia. Palkia takes it very well. The Overheat, yeah, is most likely going to... they could Nasty Plot. Because the Protect is so obvious. Do I expect the Overheat? I'm going to call I'm going to call the Nasty Plot. If I get this wrong, I lose. But if I get this right, because it's such an obvious Protect that I feel like Nasty Plot makes sense, especially because Palkia is asleep. Oh, dang. Yeah, well, sometimes you take a chance and you're wrong. And White Herb, nice. I think bring out Incin, continue just to lower the attack on that Zacian. Swap it out. Swap out Incin to... Well, I can fake out. Fake out into... No, I have to swap out Incin to Porygon and then just try to protect. Let's see if I can wake up. Yeah, that read was so aggressive on my part. Because it made sense that, hey, they're going to know that I have Protect. Why not set up the Nasty Plot and then overheat next turn? Nice. Porygon has an attack boost, which is, it puts it in the perfect place. Nice. Okay, Palkia wakes up. Able to get off a Protect. Let's see what happens here. Sacred Sword into the Porygon slot. Porygon takes it actually really well. And what's nice is that Porygon is... Oh, wow. Double up into the Porygon slot. Or, well, the Incineroar slot. I think... What? I have to... I don't want to Flare Blitz either of these. I think Fake Out... What's nice is that Zacian can only target one thing, but they still have Umbreon in the back. Yeah, I don't think there's really a way for me to come back from this, especially because I lost that my Ferrothorn, hoping that they would play aggressive. 113, yeah, and with Incineroar gone, there's really nothing I can do at this point. Because Palkia is going to break the sub on Zacian. Zacian's going to two-shot me, and I have to take a Thunderbolt from this Rotom, and then what? Yeah, there's no way. Let's just, play it out. They can, I don't even think if they messed up. There's, Sacred Sword is just going to 50. Oh, yeah, I'm so low. That was a bummer. It was such an aggressive read on my part, like I said. And if it had paid off, that probably would have been the game, because I could have then just brought out Incineroar to stop their Umbreon and just had been able to freely pivot, but it did cost me because they hit me and took out Ferrothorn, which was really my main answer to their Zacian. But that's frustrating. I really like this team, and I think I'm still getting used to it, and that has definitely cost me some matches. So let's do one more, and hopefully we can pull through in the end. All right, next battle. We are seeing a Yveltal. Yveltal Comfy with Regieleki, Heliolisk, Venusaur, and Torkoal. So one thing I actually always forget is Heliolisk's ability. And does that stop? What does that stop? Yeah, I don't actually know how to deal with this, with this Yveltal. Dry Skin, HP is restored. Okay. So when hit by so I think I have to lead Palkia. I think Palkia Grimmsnarl is my only option, really. Ferrothorn doesn't really do anything. Or Shifu probably in Incin. Yeah, because... Yeah, that's really tough, I think. Because they can safely trigger Policy on Yveltal. I think, lead Yveltal, and then I have to, Light Screen to get a special defense boost. And then just hopefully get off Spirit Breaks into Yveltal, but they can just keep lowering my defense. Oh, interesting. So they are going to lead Aleki with Heliolisk. I think this play is still special defense boost of, let's go Light Screen, Max Palkia, Max Quake into Aleki. Okay, so no max in their end. Heliolisk has, yeah, Dry Skin. HP is restored when hit by a water move or when it's raining. So I don't want to set up the rain, and I don't actually really need to. It also does have solar power, and I'm curious as if that's what they're running because of the fact that they have Torkoal. It almost doesn't make sense that they would do something else. But let's see. So they're probably gonna Electro Web. Electrify? What? Oh. That's cool. Glad I was able to get off a light screen. Yikes. Well, now my max is almost useless, but I mean, Instant it's probably Comfy, and yeah, there it is. So yeah, there's Comfy, there's Yveltal. They're probably going to try and just set up a... God, imagine if I had let Incineroar and gone for a fake out. What, Max Darkness most likely? This is hard. Yeah, Triage has are the same priority, so I can't... I think Parting Shot here. I just gotta try and nuke it. Yeah, I mean that Electrify strategy was really cool. I really like that. It was Jolly Banded, and I think, yeah, that's yikes. Now it's gonna be 2-on-2 where they have a +2 max Yveltal, and I have like nothing. Because yeah, plus 2 Yveltal with Dark Aura. And what can I do? There's no way they're not gonna... I mean, they could max Airstream into Incin, ? But even then, like, there's no point. Yeah, Max Darkness, most likely Palkia. Yep, into Palkia. Palkia goes down. I do get a Parting Shot off, which can mitigate... nice crit. Can mitigate some of the damage, but it doesn't matter. I think at this point that Comfy is such a strong option that, yeah, and Urshifu can't really do much because of max Airstream. Urshifu is scarfed, and there is the light screen, which actually is relevant. I think I want to taunt probably into... Oh, Incin? Nice. Incin actually did switch out because I did have other things. Yeah, that's cool. I think I have to fake out into the Comfy and just try and... I just gotta try and nuke... Do I close combat? I guess I close combat and fake out into Comfy, but I mean, what? It's going to probably drain... It's going to Draining Kiss into Urshifu to break Sash. Yep, Draining Kiss into Urshifu, breaks the Sash. That allows you to Airstream into Urshifu. Look at how pointless Fake Out is. And then, yep, there's the Airstream. Oh, God, Comfy is... Oh, into Incin. Interesting choice. That's actually really interesting. Because, yeah, that'll trigger my berry 100, so I can live another one. Urshifu is able to hit off a close combat. It literally does nothing. And, yeah, that thing can Floral Healing. So even taunt into Comfy doesn't matter. I should have taunted last turn, because you can just Floral Healing. Oh, you're just going to go for... Yeah, Draining Kiss, knock out Urshifu. And then finish off Incin with 2 more max airstreams, or a draining kiss after. Bummer. So, yeah, I mean, didn't really do that well with this team. I think we just got into really tough matches. I think I could have played the Dialga match better and come out on top. But, I mean, you live and you learn. You can't win them all. But, yeah, there's nothing I can do at this point. That explosion was huge. And I didn't even consider that as an option. And maybe if, yeah. Oh well, that's fine. I think we're just gonna keep working through some of the restricteds. I don't think we're gonna get through all of them, just because I don't necessarily know if I want to. But there are some ones that I definitely want to highlight, and just keep working through them. And until then, I hope all of you are great, and see you next time.